Welcome back to the Den of Nerds. I am Josh, and you probably saw it, guys, but it's real. We have earth-shattering news. Both of the next two Avengers movies have been delayed by Marvel Studios. And so in this video, I want to give it to you quick and dirty. I want to explain exactly what's going on, tell you a couple of pieces you probably missed. I'll talk about the questions that are out there, questions about Spider-Man 4, other Battle World movies, like what the hell? I'll talk about why Marvel Studios is doing this. Part of the reason is obvious, part of it is less obvious, and then I'll give you my opinion on whether or not I think this is a good idea, whether or not I think it'll work. Now, real quick, before I get into all the details here, I want to tell you, I am going to be breaking this down in more detail in a longer piece of content over on our live streaming channel. If you didn't know this, I do a live show where I talk about all the latest nerdy news every day, Monday through Friday at 11 a.m. And I thought we were going to have a nice chill-ass show on Friday, but guess not, because we're going to have to go into great detail on all this bullshit. Okay, let's get into the news. So this broke in the Hollywood trades late last night. Everybody covered this, but Marvel has indeed delayed the next two Avengers movies. Both of these movies, which did have May release dates in the year of 2026 and 2027, have now moved into November. So that's a huge delay for both of the Avengers movies. And remember, Doomsday has been filming. They are shooting that thing right now. So a whole 6-month delay on that film and a huge delay on the next movie that they had to do. That is a pretty big deal. And this is going to shake a lot of things up in Hollywood. Warner Brothers was aiming at 2026 in the holiday season for some big hits. This included Dune, which the next Dune movie is currently right now supposed to come out on the same day as Avengers Doomsday. But Warner Brothers was also eyeing up around that time for the Golem movie, the next Lord of the Rings movie. Now, this is kind of interesting because Disney and Warner Brothers have kind of flip-flopped a bit in at least the movie money-making arena. Disney used to be completely on top. They would crush all of Warner Brothers movies, but lately Warner Brothers has been crushing Disney stuff and is actually outperforming it. Minecraft, a Warner Brothers movie, is the biggest movie in the world right now. Biggest one of this year. I can't fucking believe it. Chicken jockey? So anyway, yeah, that's probably going to change a lot of stuff. This is massive. Big delay. Now, another crucial piece of this whole puzzle here is the untitled Marvel movies that technically Disney had on the release calendar. So you might recall, I've actually predicted that something like this could happen over the past couple of weeks and months on the streaming channel. Probably mostly I talk about it on the streaming channel. Well, one of the reasons I believe that is because Disney still had a full-ass calendar of untitled Marvel movies that were set to release. So the way this works is you kind of like signal release weekends. You kind of book up release weekends, especially when you're a big studio like Disney. This is for your distributors. This is for the theaters. It's to let the whole industry know, hey, we are going to release a big-ass Marvel movie on this date, on this date, on this date. And they had dates. Like, they had summer dates. They technically have a February date before the even original Doomsday date, which was in May. And they had these November dates. They had holiday dates. So I always thought it was possible that Secret Wars, or I guess Doomsday more specifically, I really thought Doomsday was going to move. I'm a little surprised that Secret Wars did. But I always thought it was possible Doomsday moved either into the summer and then they would then move Spider-Man to this November date, or they could just move Doomsday to the November date. That's a little further than I thought they'd actually delay it, but I always thought it was possible they did delay it. And I guess that sort of takes us to the question of why. Like, why would Marvel do this? And the first reason is so obvious. This is just the craziest, most ambitious movie ever. And the Russos kind of got off the couch to get back into the crazy Marvel directing system and attempted to make, again, the most ambitious movie ever. I mean, look at the fucking cast list, dude. It's crazy. It's like that thing with chairs, which was, I don't even know how many chairs there were. I lost count. But that's only like half of the big characters that are in this movie. This movie is ridiculous, right? Like, by all accounts, it's a movie that we're all probably should start wondering, like, will this actually work? And that's the simple answer, is that Marvel is like, yo, this is crazy. We need more time. But I think when you see a delay of this length, it also speaks to maybe the fatigue that's going on. I personally think Thunderbolts and the way that Thunderbolts performed in the theaters probably showed Marvel and Disney that the brand is really at that low of a point, right? So their audience is that fatigued, and unfortunately they're still dropping a bunch of Disney Plus stuff throughout the rest of this year, right? So I think this could be Marvel's way to try to really push Avengers out to, you know, number one, of course, get the quality of the film there, but also give fans time to miss Marvel truly, because I really don't think Ironheart, Wonder Man, all these other things that are coming out this year are going to create that effect. And because they put so much into Thunderbolts and it still is going to lose money, it's probably somewhat of a wake-up call of just how fatigued the mainstream audience is. Now, the questions about this, like the most pertinent questions to us MCU fans, is basically about Spider-Man 4 and the Battle World movies. To this day, we don't have any confirmations of any Battle World movies, but there were a lot of rumors of different films that could come out in the next couple of years, sort of maybe between Doomsday and Secret Wars. World War Hulk was one of these. Doctor Strange 3 was one of these. And so when I originally heard this news of the delay, I was like, wow, I wonder if more Battle World movies might be possible now. But the fact that Marvel's straight up removing things from their schedule and not moving them would suggest that they're not going to do a lot of Battle World movies. Maybe there's World War Hulk, because here's the thing. There's technically a summer date in 2027 that is unfilled right now. So I kind of thought Secret Wars would be there. It's going all the way to November in 2027. That means there's this untitled Marvel movie still slated for the summer of 2027. That could be Battle World. However, it could end up being Spider-Man 4 too. We really don't know what's going on with Spider-Man 4. So many rumors. It's been crazy. And I think part of the reason it has been crazy is because Marvel was dealing with this problem. They were considering delaying, maybe, behind the scenes, and trying to figure out how Spider-Man fits into that. Reminds me a lot of the Multiverse of Madness No Way Home scenario, because those movies were originally flip-flopped. There were concept art of America Chavez being in Spider-Man No Way Home and then going on to be in Multiverse of Madness. That ended up not happening. So that's potentially part of what was hurting Spider-Man 4 in the creative process of coming up with a plot. So now Spider-Man 4 could be a prequel to Doomsday, and maybe it's just more grounded and it will keep its date of summer next year. And if that happens, that opens up the door for World War Hulk. If that happens, it would technically mean that World War Hulk was the only Battle World movie, which I guess could work. I don't know. Sounds kind of crazy. Okay, so those are all the big questions. I'm going to be looking out for the answers. By the way, probably everybody that covers this space is out there trying to figure out exactly what is going on. So we'll get a ton of more details. We'll probably have even more information in just a couple hours when I'm on the live stream. But for now, this is what we know. And also, it is worth mentioning that multiple people have talked about Spider-Man now being a prequel to Secret Wars, or rather to Doomsday. So you had Jeff Snyder saying that it was essentially happening at the same time, and then Alex Perez had hinted that it was a prequel. So this could make sense if that all goes that way. So what are my thoughts here? What do I think about this delay? Do I think it's a good idea? And yeah, I do. I mean, it's drastic. I think it's the kind of delay that you make when you don't want to turn around and make another delay. So this delay is maybe the final one. And I think the Russos, everybody involved, they're getting a big cushion here. But also, they need to deliver big time, because I think that, the obvious thing is Marvel's just in like a rough spot. Again, Thunderbolts really shows you how bad it is, but I think the Daredevil numbers show you how bad it is as well. Like, I'm going to talk about Andor a little bit later on stream, and we all dog Andor for not getting a lot of viewership. Well, guys, you look at Andor's viewership from week 1, it surpasses anything we saw Daredevil do all season, right? So I'll talk more about that on the live stream. It just shows basically that Marvel kind of cooked. Their audience is kind of over it. And damn, that harsh reality is probably setting in right now because they threw so much into Thunderbolts. I'm sure they're getting rather nervous about Fantastic Four, right? I think they're probably now even more nervous about Doomsday. And here's the reality of it. This is a move that feels like, even if Fantastic Four underperforms, this is a move to kind of isolate Doomsday from all of these movies, potentially including Fantastic Four. It gives Marvel time to truly cook up something magnificent and incredible and really fan servicey and really fun in Doomsday. And it sort of feels like the move they made with Deadpool and Wolverine. Remember, there was a time where Brave New World was going to come out before Deadpool and Wolverine. Marvel cleaned out a whole year for Deadpool and Wolverine. Just made us miss Marvel again. And then when they came back with fan service up the wazoo and a really fire movie. Like, I dog on Deadpool and Wolverine because I don't think it has a great plot, but it's a fun movie. It made a bunch of money. Marvel fandom really enjoyed it. We had a great time during that. So this move feels like Marvel is going to do that. This is part of the calculus where they're like, yo, we need to delay to the point where the next Marvel movie, it's felt like forever since a Marvel movie, because other than Spider-Man, it will be a year plus after Fantastic Four. So this is a year plus removed from Fantastic Four. Again, isolating Doomsday from whatever might happen with Fantastic Four's box office. We'll see. That feels like a part of the calculations, and honestly, this is probably smart on their part because I think Doomsday is maybe the only one that really matters. It's seeming like, just looking at how the audience is responding to all this Marvel stuff, that their patience is completely worn thin, and they're not going to check stuff out anymore just because it's Marvel. It could even be the opposite of that, where they're literally not going to check stuff out because it's Marvel. That's crazy brand problem. Like, that is so much brand damage. So this is potentially a way for Marvel to just give the Russos a lot of time, cook up something iconic and absolutely insane, because you absolutely will get a lot of people to show up for Doomsday. But I think the reception of Doomsday is going to decide two things. Number one, how the audience even feels about Marvel moving forward. Like, can you get some of that energy back? Can you get some of that interest back? But more importantly, it's going to be the total setup for Secret Wars, which Secret Wars is seeming to be such an expensive movie that Doomsday has to work in order to justify it, which means that Doomsday is an expensive movie and such an important movie. Like, they put all their fucking eggs in these Avengers movies baskets, basically. And so they're looking back, they're reading the train, and they're like, yeah, this is what we got to do. We got to delay the shit out of this and make sure it's like all-time, unbelievably mind-blowing fucking insanity for the fans. And that's good. So those are my overall thoughts, quick and dirty. Just telling you what's going on with this. I will be live at 11 a.m. I hope to see some of you there. We'll talk more about this. It's crazy. Let me know your thoughts here in the comment section below. And as I always say, I hope you are having an awesome and a nerdy day. And I'll see you in the next video.